miss it. And right now, round number 3, mat number 3, off we go. And as soon as we saw Felipe Pena, you said, oh my God, can't wait to see this match. You were so excited, Braulio.
Yes, Jimmy. You know, Felipe is a very good friend. He's a training partner.
Yeah.
He has been a champion in ADCC. He's a super fight contender. Yeah. And then here we go. We blink the eyes. Felipe Pena fighting here against Brandon Reed. It's going to be interesting.
Now, you were a Triple Crown champion. That means you won your weight class, you won the absolutes, and you won a super fight. But that was spread over a couple ADCCs. He's trying to do it in one event. Very ambitious.
That's a very good opportunity to make history in ADCC, right? So here, Felipe Pena pulls straight away to the guard. Brandon just circling, keeping the distance, respecting a lot of the leg attacks that Felipe has, which is very dangerous.
First 5 minutes, no points. Guys are able to work, not worrying about the points right now. You know the mobility of Pena. A lot of these guys were in the 99 kilogram and above weight class. They don't move like heavyweights anymore, Braulio.
Yeah, it's crazy. So he's so flexible, so mobile, and very active. And you can see now he's very offensive. Because when you play guard and you start going forward, it's very uncomfortable for the opponent. You know, that's the tactical game. If you want to start fighting ahead, you need to make the opponent feel uncomfortable, regardless where they end up in.
Now, of course, gold medalist 2017 here at Abu Dhabi. He is at home on this mat for sure. But how much, Braulio, when we talk about the level, everybody's so good, but you don't want to spend a lot of energy in those first couple matches, right? You don't want to get beat up a whole lot and be worn out for a semifinal, final, but the level's so high. How do you manage that if you're Pena?
Yeah, it's like ADCC is like a marathon, you know?
Yeah.
And if competitors, contenders like Felipe Pena, they dare to win the weight division in absolutes, you know, to be able, and then now he has one extra super fight, right? So he has about the potential of doing nine matches in one weekend, you know? So on the beginning, you gotta pace yourself, you know, and they take usually advantage on the first 5 minutes to study the opponent because there's no points involved, and get into the mode of world level.
Trying to step over and pass. Big mistake here.
That was very bad mistake here. And then Felipe already ended up in a very good position top.
You just said it. Stay patient. Your opponent's going to make a mistake at some point. Big mistake from Brandon Reed. Now it's Felipe Pena on top of him.
Yeah, I mean, this mistake can cost his match because there was only 2.5 minutes down. And there's no points involved, but now he's on the bottom under Felipe Pena in his best form. Look at that. Pressure.
You talked about it as a teammate of Felipe Pena. What's it like being underneath that man in side control?
Man, now it's worse than ever. You know, he's heavy, he's strong, and he's fit. And you can see he's putting pressure on the right spot, connecting both shoulders of Brandon on the ground, which gives him a little bit discomfort. Look at that.
Beautiful mount transition.
He's doing a little smother choke there with his chest, stopping the breathing.
And that's the kind of thing, even if it doesn't work, you don't tap, can't take a full breath, it wears you out. The pressure of Felipe Pena.
Yeah, but nothing is the end yet. You know, like his first 5 minutes, there's no points. You cannot just get into panic. And this is when you can demonstrate the most important lesson in jiu-jitsu is to feel comfortable on uncomfortable situations.
All right, now Brandon Reed on the bottom, very, very uncomfortable at the moment. This is a guy who came in, not a lot of hype from Badigo submission fighting, but taking on a legend here, kind of a dark horse here, but right now, he's having trouble with that top pressure of Felipe Pena. Very, very heavy hips.
Yeah, it's connecting the elbows there together, which is making you the restriction of the starting of the movement, you know, because that's the catch.
And you see, here's watching next to the mat is Gordon Ryan.
Yeah, Gordon Ryan just watching and studying his game and realize that Felipe's pressure is pretty good, by the way.
And what he's learning right now is don't give up good position to Pena.
Yeah, that's what it is. Like, he has the elbows, both elbows kind of pinching together, which stops the mobility of the opponent. You know, Brandon to be able to get out of that, think to get out of that, need to free those elbows, you know. And then you can see Pena really relentlessly focus on don't let go of this control, like mining the energy of Brandon here.
Is he putting Reed in a position where you got to make a mistake to try to relieve that pressure? You got to do something crazy and scramble, and that's where you take advantage?
Yes, you know, like for example, here, Brandon, he has to kind of give a little bit of a position hoping that Felipe is going to progress. Because now if he starts pushing back, he's just going to waste his energy because Felipe is heavy. He's just the gravity connecting the hands in the right spot here. And then this is so tiring for whoever's on the bottom if you keep it pushing back. And if you relax, you can get into a position that's going to give the submission.
This is a man who has a win over Gordon Ryan at ADCC. The only man who can say that, and the man on top in black, Felipe Pena from Brazil. Right now, a master's class in top pressure.
Now points is on.
Yep.
And now he starts racking the points by putting the knee on the stomach here. Let's see if the referee gives the points. That's the mount. He came out on the mount for 3 seconds and then to come back, and then let's see how is this score going to come up now.
Yep, he got the point for the mount.
There
2 points.
So for who we start learning about the ADCC rules, Felipe Pena is coming off the mount on purpose, connecting the both arms, stay for 3 seconds, and then come back and just try to stack up the points and then get into. He's pretty much using this match to warm up a little bit. You know, you can see he got a very good position that is very difficult to escape unless the arms are out. So here we go. As soon as the arm was out, that was when it was the opportunity for Brandon. He took advantage straight away.
Finally, a little bit of space for Brandon Reed.
Guillotine.
Oh, trying to slam his way out, and he gets it.
Wow. Wow, he woke up. See, that was all about those elbows. Did you see that?
It went from a grappling match to a little bit of a fight here, Braulio.
Wow, he's now have to put a lot of energy now to get out. He's got the 2 points. His game now.
Yep, thrown away his glasses, but he is in a deep hole. 4 points, that's hard to make up in the time he has left, Braulio.
Yeah, it's very difficult now. There's only 3.5 minutes left. To score any points on Felipe is difficult. To pass his guard is even harder.
Remember, in the first 5 minutes, no points. He had no success trying to pass the guard of Felipe Pena. And Pena knows that at this point. Fighter from Brazil, once again, gold medalist 2017. He's got to be considered the favorite by a lot of people in this bracket right now.
Correct, and then one of the favorites to win the absolute as well. Yep. And also, the contender to be able to beat Gordon Ryan in the super fight.
If there's anyone that can do it, that can stop the monster that is Gordon Ryan, a lot of people think it is Felipe Pena. And once again, Gordon Ryan, mat side, chilling, watching this fight. And
knee slice attempt here by Brandon, but unsuccessful.
Man, unbelievable flexibility by Pena. He can invert in 2 seconds.
Yes, and then he's so tall and so heavy, and he just plays like a lightweight.
Braulio, you know,
here we go, a big jump here by
taking
Brandon.
that risk, but
possibility of the triangle here by Felipe, and a sweep here.
Beautiful sweep, getting on top.
Yeah, Felipe on top now. He's very, very dangerous.
8-2, just over 2 minutes left. Braulio, what we say now in submission grappling is everything's and. They're tall and flexible and heavy and big and technical. That's what we're seeing from Pena right now. Beautiful
That's
job.
A beautiful pass here.
Getting around the guard.
Just over 2 minutes to go. Felipe in a very big advantage position here, connecting the hands here, connecting the elbow to the shoulder, repeating the same control in a pass straight to the mount.
Gift wrap position, easy mount.
Yeah, he's going to go for the katagatame here. Oh, he well defended here by Brandon. He's going to be fishing that.
Now, Braulio, tactically, you're ahead. All right, this is your match, 9 points. You still want that submission.
Yes, I think that's what's going to try to go to the back here now. Look, boom, well escaping for the elbow straight away. Wow, it's a tap. Well done.
Wow.
Amazing transition here, nice and Felipe goes and pointed out to Gordon Ryan. Gordon Ryan just smiles on the corner of the mat.
Brandon Reed did everything he could, but Felipe Pena.
Great start for Felipe Pena.
He fought like the favorite.
Yeah.
Right,
Vegas is known for its heat, musical stars, and entertainment. And it's here at T-Mobile Arena where some of the world's best compete for glory in the world's premier grappling event. 106 athletes take the mat over the next 2 days to find out what they're made of in the 2024 ADCC World Championship. And it all starts right now on FloGrappling. Ricardo Amendolia here with Mr. Sean Williams calling the action of the 2024 ADCC World Championship presented by FloGrappling. And we're kicking things off here on mat number 2. We got the 99+ division. I see John Hansen underneath Heikki Jussila.
Yeah, starting it off with the big boys here.
Jussila, 2-time ADCC European Trials winner. This is his 2nd time in the big show. Last time, he actually had Gordon Ryan first round.
Yeah, tough draw the first round. So now we'll see how these guys both fare. So Hansen has pulled guard and started to look for some sort of 2-on-1 or 2 hands on 1. Jussila doing a great job of head positioning there, so I love that head positioning that he has. And you see how he's putting that forward pressure on Hansen, which is keeping him just back. I call it the sweet spots, keeping him back on the back of his hip bones. It activates your core, shuts off your legs a little bit. Now Hansen has done a better job of bringing his chest forward, but that can lend itself to its own problems as well. So, oh, nice arm drag. That was beautiful arm drag by Hansen.
Right to the back now is John Hansen, the student pedagogue submission fighting. Mount Vernon in the house. Nice little hand fighting action there with back control. He's got one hook in.
Yeah,
got his legs triangled behind him, sorry.
Yeah, that's a fantastic arm drag. He just did 2-on-1, just pulled the arm to the side and essentially face planted Jussila there.
Very subtle. It wasn't like a very dynamic movement by any means. He's going for a choke right away is John Hansen.
Yeah, Hansen's getting a little high there. He got high. He's going to get back. He's got to watch that. I call that floating on the turtle position. When you get a little bit high, your opponent can exit out that back side. Hansen trying to break Jussila down now.
As we mentioned, Jussila, no stranger to ADCC. He's been here before. He's won the trials twice. Yeah, it looked amazing in the European trials. If you guys want to check that out, go to the FloGrappling archives. And John Hansen has competed, countless ADCC Opens, trials, matches, ton of experience. Comes from one of the best American teams out there, pedagogue submission fighting from that infamous Daisy Fresh team in Mount Vernon.
Yeah, Hansen doing a good job. Now remember, just a reminder, if you're sort of new here, there's no points for the first 5. So that's why it's still 0-0. No points for the first 5 minutes.
Jussila with an interesting escape little attempt there.
Yeah, to overwrap that far hook and roll. Sometimes you can get all the way to the cross-side top on that movement, but he did get him in a decent position. Now he's still got to work himself out. Right back to turtle. Hansen electing just to try to put these 2 hooks, and you see him flaring the foot. That usually makes your opponent straighten their leg, which opens up that area for him to thread that foot through. That's a good move here. The power half, same side as the hook, breaks your opponent down, lets you get the hooks in. Good job, but Jussila did a great job of getting his back on the floor immediately and working himself out from the back control.
So as you mentioned, no points scored. The 10-minute round for the opening rounds here at ADCC. First half, there's no points. Second half, there is points in the ADCC unique rule set. And, John Hansen dominating so much, I don't think he's looking to score or win this by decision or points. He's looking to dominate positionally, and he's looking for a submission right away. I'm very impressed with how many even just wraps around the neck he's had so far, because Jussila is no joke.
Yeah, no, he looks really good right now. He's working on flattening him. I love an underhook here from Hansen on that top arm. Even on the bottom arm, just an underhook with his left arm really sets him up for a lot more things, katagatamis, flattening him out with near side underhooks, etc. Jussila would bode well to escape the hips. He's got to roll through the legs or escape his hips off to his right side. Dominate the strangle hand with the left, escape the hips so you can start getting yourself out of this turtle position.
So 4 minutes, 48 seconds left. Now points will be scored. And remember, this is the ADCC rule set, a little different than the contemporary jiu-jitsu rule sets or other grappling ones out there. There's many variations of the ADCC scoring system, but Hansen's regular competing in ADCC system, Jussila as well. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. Hansen trying to recover that back control there.
Yeah, working the chair sit, but you see Jussila taking the hook. He can run forward if he gets a hold of the head. Well, now his right arm is isolated, but there he slipped out of that. And here we find ourselves right where the match started. So let's see if Jussila behaves a little different here. and can see that 2-on-1 arm drag. Again, the head position is critical. Forward pressure is super important. Create that forward pressure if you're Jussila by having that hand on the trap. There it is. And just you tilt your training partner back or your opponent back like that.
Three minutes, 30 seconds left. Jussila putting tons of pressure now on John Hansen. Big change of pace.
So that wrist control on his right side is a big deal over there. It's a very important battle when you have someone passing to that side. That wrist sort of sets up everything for you. He's looking for a potential Troy bar if he gets the arm on the other side. But wrist tie up with that right hand really helps him. Makes it tough for Jussila to advance.
I feel like John Hansen's not going to be hitting a Troy bar right now.
No, I mean, it looked like he was going to try.
Yeah.
It looked like he was trying to push the wrist outside to get a clamp on the tricep, but
traditionally you see a lot more of the lighter guys kind of play that Troy bar game. Maybe some of the flexible big guys like Cyborg or, you know, but yeah, Jussila on top, 2 minutes, 14 seconds. If there's no point scored, this will go into, I believe, a 5-minute overtime.
And here's where the arm drag came when Jussila was on the knees. So passing on the knees from the butterfly guard can lend itself to those things. Arm drags, etc. Harder to get in on the legs, but you'll get to your upper body gets more available for attacks. Again, good head position. Hansen could start to pick those hands apart and get him across. So a 2-on-1 with that elbow tie, cross wrist tie and elbow tie, that would help.
Still just over a minute left. Jussila trying to put more pressure down on Hansen.
There's the arm, again, a bit of an arm drag attempt there. Now trying to, sort of, you do a blast double essentially.
Yeah,
if you can get your
like
arm,
a seated double.
Yeah, it works really well actually. When you try to pull someone's arm across and they're on their knees and they pull back really hard,
opens
you
up
can just
space.
spin on your hip and basically it's like a blast double. It works very, very well.
Yeah, referee's calling for some more action here.
Yeah, Hansen needs to take that hand off the trap. That's what's putting that forward pressure and making it difficult for him to be offensive.
Less than a minute, half a minute left in this match here. No points scored. Both men kind of pacing themselves. Got a big bracket full of big men here today.
Yeah.
All right, that's it for regulation. There will be a 5-minute overtime. The center referee is going to go over to the judges, just get some feedback. Oh, actually, just going to get some wipes. But we will have an overtime, 5-minute overtime round coming up here in a sec. Yeah, center referee taking a little moment just to kind of talk to the athletes. John Hansen, third at ADCC, his third World Championship appearance, I should say. 2023 Mexican Open champion, won the North American trials. So as I mentioned, he's got a lot of experience under the ADCC rule set. Now, I believe points are on for the full overtime, so this is where we could possibly see Hansen get a little bit more aggressive with the wrestling. As I say that, Jussila looking for a little single leg action there.
Yeah, Jussila has that little reverse wrist tie on that right side, so that puts you on the inside for saying things like singles. Hansen might try to fly around the corner and pull that arm drag by. If you fly around that far leg, there he's just got doubled though. So there'll be no score because you need to keep them seated. Now, was that enough time there on Turtle?
I think that was less than 3 seconds,
yeah,
so I believe that will be a score. No, it doesn't look like they're giving the points yet, or if they will at all. But
yeah, so you can defend Turtle if you get into the Turtle off a takedown and defend for long enough, then you can get back to your guard defensively.
But again, that goes with the experience that Hansen.
Right. Yeah.
You know, his experience clock probably a lot better than mine calling the action that side. So he knew what was going to get scored and what wasn't.
Hansen with that right-handed tie. Jussila has the right knee up in the middle, so yeah, I was just going to say, it could go to the opposite side. And now he's going to need to break Hansen down. Good roll through. Hansen.
Jussila picking up the pace a little bit, being a little bit more proactive in this overtime.
I like the foot on the hip there that Hansen did there initially. In that seated position. Again, he's going to have to get those hands off the traps. That's there. Nice snap down. And this is what I was saying earlier, where if you get your chest too far forward, it bodes for some potential problems for things like this. Jussila doing a good job pushing him back, and then if Hansen pushes too far forward, he can snap him down, snap his head down, get into front head and arm situations and get around the guard. But Hansen working on this arm drag again, try to get that 2-on-1. Both gentlemen kind of stalemating each other right now. It's there's a 2-on-1. He's got to connect the feet now if he's not going to wrestle up. As Hansen.
Minute 45 seconds left into this match.
I don't know if Hansen has it in his game or not, but he's working on those arm drags, which is making Jussila, once he comes back, that he kicks his legs out. This is a good time to snap the head down, go from lower body or arm drag series is to snap downs into front head arms and start hip heisting up. And for Jussila, he's got a hold of the head well. This would potentially be a nice time for him to get on the ankle. Back to the turtle. Hansen tries to roll through. Nice. Almost blocked the leg well, had the arm slid across the side, just couldn't build his build his height soon enough there. There's getting on the head, back down to the lower body. That's I think Jussila's got to do something. I mean, I don't know how he gets this decision.
So that will be it. I believe there's only one overtime for the opening matches, but there's no score. So it'll be interesting to see who.
Yeah, I think you give it to Hansen for all the early activity. I mean, and plus the sort of the aggression, really. Jussila did a fantastic job of shutting everything down, but.
Yeah, John Hansen gets the win in the opening round here at the 2024 ADCC World Championship presented by FloGrappling.
We have a matchup between former ADCC champion Vinicius Magalhaes versus Damon Ramos. Damon invited to this tournament, as well as Vinny Magalhaes.
Yeah, Vinny, 10th planet black belt. Damon Ramos got his invite. Real good run in the trials. He's an ADCC vet from back in 2022. Collar ties early here. Oh, wow. Looking for the throw by to the foot sweep from Ramos. Ramos well-rounded too, as is Vinny. They can both wrestle. They're good. They're both good from the top. They're both good from the bottom. Both have leg attacks.
Speaking of leg attacks, Vinny sits guard.
Again, these are going to be 10-minute matches until the finals. First half of the match, no points. Points start in the second half of the match. Hard knee cut through, looking to get to north-south. Vinny, there he goes on a leg, Jake.
Oh, look at this! Damon Ramos chasing the back.
Vinny hanging on to that leg. Oh, outside.
Heel hook attempt. Immediately jumping on that heel hook.
Vinny, not known to tap to heel hooks, does a good job extracting the leg.
You know, we talk about storylines, Jay, at those ADCC Opens. It's definitely been one of those interesting curveballs in the overall ADCC story. Damon Ramos and Dan Manasoyeu seemed like they were in the final of that above 99 kilogram division for every single, or above 95 rather, I believe, at the Opens, for every one of those individual tournaments.
The experience that they got from those Opens, you know, just in the rule set, is really, really valuable. I mean, Big Dan, he was, he might have came out with about 10 of the 10 gold medals from those Opens. Pushes away, back up to the feet now. Both of them in on leg attacks early.
Vinicius, the 2011 ADCC World Champion.
Also holds a victory over the King Gordon Ryan. Nice throw by again, gets behind him.
Looks for the hook, but slick maneuver by Vinicius to tuck that elbow in as the hook was coming.
Turtled up here. Chest wrapped from behind is Ramos.
Just over 2 minutes elapsed in this first bout of the day.
Vinny really trying to not even allow that first hook to get in. You see him keeping his hands behind him so that he can address from the knees and thighs so that he can push the legs of Ramos away. Oh, Ramos steps in, trying to get over top of Vinny's arm. 4 points back down to Turtle for Magalhaes. One-on-one, and Jake, I like Ramos's decision to not go seatbelt here and stay double unders. You know, Vinny's explosive. He looks to get up to any kind of quad pod. Ramos is, you know, has a good chance he's falling over top. So staying behind the elbows here, especially with only 2 minutes still points. You know, not that we want to see them stay in this position for 2 minutes, but good controlling position from Ramos where he's laboring on the back of Vinny, where, you know, making Vinny have to carry his weight from here. Chest staying heavy on his shoulders.
It's no secret as well that the ADCC rule set demands that you are in the proper physical condition in order to go 10 minutes at the pace that a lot of these matches go at. Damon Ramos able to kind of slow the match down, continuing to work towards the back, not stalling by any stretch of the imagination, but at least giving himself a little bit of breathing room to slowly work towards his goal.
And give himself a strong position to go into the points period with man, when you look at the points scored in ADCC, you're going to see that there's a giant difference between points scored on the back and the rest of points being scored. It is not easier to score from the back, but because of the turtle position, you see the back much more. People show you the back to go to that turtle position. So that's the points that score a lot. So I like Ramos' strategy in staying behind him here.
Now looking for the seatbelt.
Yeah, I'll go seatbelt. But now that they're seated, it makes a lot more sense because he can't fall over the top. Smart move here from Ramos, and that's going to allow him to keep his head nice and tight. And you see Vinny trying to kind of melt down. Gets out, faces him.
The overall history of this division, there are 7 gold medals for America, 7 gold medals for Brazil, and just 1 for South Africa back in 2001 with Mark Robinson. 3 athletes have won this division more than once. Mark Kerr, Fabricio Verdum, and Marcus Buchecha each have 2 gold medals.
Verdum entered into the Hall of Fame last night, along with Vinny Magalhaes, ADCC Hall of Famers. 10 seconds to points. Vinny will decide to sit guard so that he will not be penalized.
Smart move for the
very smart move.
Guard player.
All right, points are on now. Again, for the viewers at home, what the judges are looking for is who is initiating the action more. Who is the one that's starting the action? You see him looking to scoop under now.
Double under forces the turtle. Now back in this turtle position situation.
And what this does is it neutrals this out. So the top and bottom player, after 3 seconds in this position, top and bottom player need to be established, okay? So you can even, Vinny can even give up to side control without giving up a score because there's no guard to pass. So even falling into side control, you can't get a pass points from a chest to back situation. Only way Ramos is going to be able to score here is back, mount, or knee on belly. And staying behind him, again, is having Vinny carry this weight the entire time.
Head organizer Mo Jasm has said on multiple occasions, not just on his Instagram lives, but in the rules meetings that are available at every ADCC Open and every ADCC live stream, that turtle position is perhaps one of the most important positions for you to masterfully approach in the ADCC rule set. Can you speak on that a little bit?
Yeah, when you figure out neutral position, I'll tell you, you can really understand how to not get scored on like this, because you figure you get to this position from takedowns, from somebody trying to sweep you, you could turn, move to turtle. Somebody trying to pass your guard, you can move to turtle. Anytime you can figure a way to this position, it can now allow you to now become bottom player without being scored on.
So far has been a lot of success, although not yielding any points for Damon Ramos.
And if this should end in regulation with a tie score, they will immediately go to an overtime at half the time of the match, so it would be a 5-minute overtime. Still staying heavy. Seatbelted now. Looks like he might be trying to use that one-on-one, maybe going over top, almost like to get to like a Kimura crucifix type situation, but it looks like he's gone back to the double unders.
Oh, and look at this.
Through.
Vinicius wrestling up on this single leg. Shucked down and forced back.
Yeah. Now, I mean, I don't think they're going to make Vinny stand here. He might still be the bottom player. Yeah, he's still the bottom player. Had Vinny come up and held that leg up for 3 seconds, now they become neutral players and would have to start back from the feet. Vinny didn't come up for the 3 seconds, so he'll still be a downed opponent.
Perhaps some fatigue setting in on the Hall of Famer here, Damon Ramos. Very quick guard pass attempt.
40 years old for Magalhaes, but again, in incredible shape. Single hook across here. Let's see if Ramos can connect. Power half. Vinny catches that foot. Trying to turn his body in so those feet don't connect.
2 minutes remaining in regulation.
See Vinny's left hand really guarding his hip there. He can't let the figure four happen. Can't let that hook slip in.
Sort of a precarious position for the Hall of Famer as well. Leading into overtime, so another 5 minutes on the clock. And in a wrestling circumstance where pulling guard will get you a negative point.
You have to at least, in the overtime, he's going to have to at least attempt the shot for the 3 seconds to be able to even pull safely. Falls off again. Vinny doing a great job of negating that secondary hook, but like we were saying, as far as fatigue goes, he's been carrying Damon Ramos the entire time on his shoulders here. Not the entire time, but a very good portion of time. Minute to go. And Ramos has decided to, like, not to try to roll through, you know, create a roll to maybe open up enough space to get that leg over. You know, Ramos might be feeling good. He might be feeling confident where he doesn't mind going to overtime. Confident from the feet. He had some good looks on those throw-bys, maybe 2 or 3 times on those throw-bys.
Now, perspective, Jay, do you think it's better for Damon Ramos in this position to go for broke and to blitz as hard as he can to get these points, or to coast and wait for overtime?
So at this point, he could sell out right now just for the next 10 seconds. Again, he's got to have to hold the position for 3 seconds, but he's not in danger of being scored on. The only thing, the way he could be scored on is back mount or knee on belly. So the odds of him being scored on if he were to sell out in that situation were very good. So now we are going to go to the feet. Again, you need a legitimate attempt at a takedown to be able to pull safely. Vinny, there it is. Now, as long as he keeps driving, good job by Ramos. He's going to get the negative for this, I believe. Stayed on his knees. Yeah, because even on your knee, you're a downed opponent. Or did they say he did enough to shoot? Okay, they may believe he did enough to shoot there to be able to take that bottom position.
And he's still trying. It looks like he's still trying to shoot from this grounded position as well.
Ramos is doing a very good job of disconnecting, too, from here. Not allowing that to stay engaged for the 3 seconds. All right, back up to the feet now. Underhook.
Vinny trying to scoop underneath. Look for a leg entry from the feet, but
now this is where Ramos wanted to be. Chest to chest flattened out. When you look at the, you know, if it went to a judge's decision, yeah, there is 2 negatives for Vinny. So they did give him a negative for when he was down on his knee in the first one, and he's gotten a second one. He shot on that leg, immediately went down to guard. So he's down 2 penalties right now. He's going to have to score 2 just to make it even. And here's the thing, Ramos, I'd say Ramos is well ahead as far as aggression and initiations on the judges' scorecard, to where even if Vinny did score 2 and this was 2-0, I still think it would, because those negatives are exactly what they are. If Vinny were to score 2, he's still got 0 now at this point. I think the decision would go to Ramos in that.
And now these connections that Ramos is now making chest to chest, you would think want to salvage that and prevent Vinny from being able to turtle, but Vinny does a good job getting back to that turtle position.
Chest to back here for Ramos. And again, I love how Ramos almost keeps his hips over top of Vinny's hips. Chest right over top of the shoulders, so that any type of height building that has to be done by Vinny is so labored by the weight of Ramos. It's exhausting and fatiguing. And Ramos clearly feels comfortable here. Again, a lot would have to happen for Vinny to be able to score on Damon from here.
12.5 total minutes transpired in this one. 2 minutes, 30 seconds left in overtime.
It's the bottom half of the left side of the bracket here. Winner of Vinny and Damon will go on to face the winner of Mike Perez and Josh Saunders.
And still chilling out in this, now looking more like a possible crucifix position. Vinny threatens a look at a takedown.
And listen, as soon as he removed his hips off Vinny's hips and went to that crucifix, like we were saying, it labors. Vinny able to build hip height and now get him into a situation where he could have been offensive, but Ramos right back to the attack on top. And again, you see Vinny moving to that turtle, prevents that passing score. And with it 90 seconds to go, currently Vinny Magalhaes with the 2 penalty points. Again, he's gonna need in either a 3-point score or be able to score twice here on Ramos in 1:20. It seems like a tall task right now. He's gonna need to explode and come out of here and really get aggressive.
Like you said, Jay, bearing the weight of Damon Ramos does not make it easy to find that last-minute explosion, but if the Hall of Famer wants to keep his hopes at a second ADCC gold medal alive, then he's going to need to make something happen here with just under 1 minute to go.
Yeah, short time here. Ramos has played this match very well, even from the feet. The throw-bys, you know, he kept Vinny off of his head, forced Vinny to want to be the bottom player. And then from top, just being able to threaten enough to force Vinny to turtle.
You mentioned the throw-by. On a couple separate occasions, we've seen that out of Damon Ramos. It's interesting to see how the ADCC athletes, as they've competed in the Opens, especially the ones that did spend a lot of time competing in the Opens, how they've adapted their wrestling game plan. There's not a lot of fundamental freestyle wrestling in play. A lot of Greco-Roman influence, a lot of throw-bys, foot sweeps, snap downs. Those are things that are very widely used, I feel like, in this rule set from what I've seen.
Yeah, it's very hard to teach somebody who didn't wrestle how to take a shot. Front shooting is very difficult. Those throw-bys, the upper body attacks, are a much easier thing to comprehend and execute, and that's going to be it. And Damon Ramos taking out the Hall of Famer in round number 1, Jake.
He is going to move forward in this bracket.
ADCC, this is when, we call it the Olympics of submission grappling. It's not the game you have, it's the game you bring over these next 2 days. These athletes are peaking at exactly the right time. And it is USA versus Australia. Josh Saunders versus Michael Perez.
Michael Perez, that is playing above his weight, couple divisions above the weight. And, you know, I spoke to him in the beginning today, and he said, the tactic will be to tire my opponents and then, you know, use my speed and my pressure towards the end when they tire, because they have it in me, they're gonna get tired before me.
For people who remember Honorio, Jacare and Absolutes, right? He was just able to just be explosive and wear out those bigger guys. That could be the strategy here on the bottom.
Yeah, I mean, like ADCC, as I mentioned before, is a marathon. It's you need to play the game, you know. That is the first 5 minutes you cannot expose yourself. You need to switch that 5 minutes in the position that you are in ahead in the game, so you can be closer to the point, and after that, you know, you can start opening up for submissions.
And we see the heavy hips from Josh Saunders. If you're the bigger guy, make the other guy feel it. Bring those hips down. Don't make it about the scrambles. Is that the strategy of Josh Saunders as a bigger man?
I mean, that's a good strategy to have, especially when you fight someone smaller than you. You know, using the gravity to bring the game to where they're good at.
Michael Perez won the USA Trials, 2024 West Coast Trials winner. Wants to see if he can do it on the big stage. West Coast Trials, always so incredibly tough. I know I'm a native of California, but the West Coast Trials, very, very tough every time.
Well, that's where Jiu-Jitsu started, right?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of experience involved, a lot of athletes that's doing well on the world circuit.
Yeah, Josh Saunders won the Asia Oceania Trials, which of course includes New Zealand and Australia. Second time he's been in ADCC, hasn't been able to medal yet. but is it one of those things where you've been here before, it settles the nerves, you know what it's like, and now you're ready to place? Could it be for Josh Saunders having been here before? How much advantage does that give him to you?
Yeah, it does. It does. You'll be already be in the stage. You know what to expect. You know, you know more what to expect from the opponents. Here, Mike Perez here going to a double leg here. Well done, well moved, almost out of the mats. Well defended here with an offensive guillotine pushing Perez to retreat.
No points yet, obviously, first 5 minutes, but it shows that mobility. It shows, hey, if you make a mistake, I'm going to get that sweep.
Yeah, that's the thing, you know, like if you have to be always aware of the danger of the submission, even though you try to, maybe you go to kind of study your opponent, maybe your opponent come to kill you, you know? So that's what actually happened when I fought Xander Ribeiro in the finals, the Absolute 2009. I thought he mentioned before, man, I thought we were going to the long run. You know, I went straight from the kill. I mean, you can surprise it by tactical, you know.
Exactly. The pace you want to fight isn't the pace your opponent's going to want to fight necessarily.
Correctly.
That is why it is chess, not checkers here at ADCC. Right now on top, Josh Saunders from Australia taking on Michael Perez, won the West Coast ADCC trials. So far, trying to work that Z guard. Michael Perez trying to keep that distance with the knee, and Josh Saunders trying to put the pressure on him.
Just over 2 minutes to start points.
Now,
here, Mike Perez is protecting himself using a good frame. Don't let Saunders to get too close, you know. And also, Saunders is not going to be exposing for the pass right now. It's not going to be the right time because it's just going to be a waste of energy and also waste of tactical exposure, you know, because after the 5 minutes, that's when it's going to be the goal time.
Trying to go underneath the leg, trying to use that.
That's a possibility to steam a lot there, maybe.
How much would you love to call on a steam a lot?
Ah, it's so
Come
good.
on, that'd be awesome.
Like it's an honor and a pride, and it's kind of surreal for me. You know, imagine when I started training jiu-jitsu, there was Ezekiel chokes, there was Kimura chokes, and then now
De La Riva guard.
De La Riva guard. Not bad, eh? Not bad.
I'm sitting here with Braulio Estima. If you don't know the Estima lock, don't get caught in it. You will break your ankle real quick.
No time to tap.
Now, speaking of leg locks, thinking about it, is Michael Perez from the bottom.
Here we go, 52 seconds. We're starting the points, scoring.
Michael Perez, the smaller man, has done a good job so far of keeping the weight of Josh Saunders off and been very mobile.
You can tell that Mike Perez is getting underneath really well.
Yep.
With that link, he's not putting in effort for the sweep yet because there's no points.
Yep.
So, but he knows he can get there.
Is that first 5 minutes, is that the feel-out point?
Yeah.
You're looking for weaknesses, looking for things you can expose when the points start.
Exactly. You can see like how the mobility of your opponent, what they try to, how they position in certain situations, so you can plan already ahead when the point is on, how to get there. But now, Saunders is getting a very good position here with the body lock, and the point is going to start in 9 seconds.
Almost to the pass, stuck in half guard, and we are now in points, ladies and gentlemen. Points begin now. Josh Saunders on top in half guard over Michael Perez.
Yeah, he can use his weight really well here, connecting the elbows on the hips, control. Now have the pressure on the side control, on the half guard here, which is a very uncomfortable position here for Michael Perez.
Now this is the first time Perez has really felt that weight, where he's really been flat.
Yeah, now he's defending well. Now we put the right hand underneath of the shoulders to release a little bit of pressure, but Saunders is really, really strong and positioning himself really well. Maybe rushing a little bit here for the pass.
Yeah, a little bit of a tactical mistake. Yeah, Perez able to get back to open guard.
It's very hard to, when you are bigger, to pass someone else's guard when they are much smaller, because Perez is smaller, but he's very strong as well. So, but very short gaps to be able to get through. Because to pass the guard, they need to go between knees and
look at the size of his leg. It is gigantic.
Yeah, Perez said, you know what, it's going to be hard to sweep that guy. Let's go back up to stand. But he has a very good wrestling too.
How huge would this be to be able to get the takedown?
It's David versus Goliath for sure.
Yeah. As you said, Michael Perez coming up a weight class or two to go to this 99 kilo plus division. absolutely stacked with talent. Michael Perez trying to make his mark. But man, you're right. These gentlemen are not in the same weight class at all. When you see them both stand up, you see it.
Well, I remember Perez fighting under 77 before.
Yeah.
And then he's fighting over 99. And it can surprise people. It's not easy to score points on someone that's very athletic and then shorter than you.
People who remember Marcelo Garcia, his success in the Absolutes ADCC, never won gold in Absolute, made the final. But, you know, once again, a guy who weighed, you know, 170 pounds soaking wet, taking on heavyweights. Tapped out Sanjay Ribeiro.
Yeah, he tapped out to Vinny, Cacareco,
yeah.
like, which is
Monsters.
Almost double of his weight.
Yeah.
Here we go, hit just over 3 minutes ago. Mike Perez here tried to get the tactical strategy in place. It is in the position that he wanted to be on the final of the round. Not the round, but the
points,
the points.
Remember, it's a negative point if you pull guard. Does not want to do that. He has to basically engage in a wrestling battle with a much heavier opponent.
And for you to score the takedowns, you gotta keep the opponent back on the ground or sat for more than 3 seconds.
That's one of the things a lot of the grapplers talk about is it's hard to get those takedown points because guys are so mobile. They turn and move. You have to really establish control to get those takedown points.
Yeah.
Not an easy thing to do.
And you see, every time someone gets taken down, they will turtle as much as possible. Which is a different rule set from the normal jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, it's not NCAA takedowns.
Yeah.
It's a little different. Doing a little foot sweep there.
Now you can see Josh Saunders getting a little frustrated, you know, that he couldn't get close to score any points. And then if it's a draw, there will be extra time of 5 minutes as well in those first rounds.
The difficulty here, if you're Josh Saunders, are you trying not to get frustrated? You got a smaller guy in front of you. How do you really manhandle him? Can that get frustrating?
Yeah, it's so conflicting, right? You are like, I should be doing better than this.
I should be beasting this guy.
Which causes pressure, right?
Right.
But Mike Perez is very technical and strong for his size.
And he's
very
been
strong.
slippery. You know, you can see Saunders trying to club him a little bit. That hasn't been working out very well.
Yeah, I mean, now just under 2 minutes, no point scores. Josh Saunders got in a very good position, but Perez managed to escape, and now he's using the tactic that he wanted to do. Beyond the good
reach for the single leg.
Very good takedown here.
Beautiful takedown, and as you said, Perez trying to turtle.
Back attack.
There's one hook.
That's on.
That is two. That is in.
That is in.
Let's see if he gets the points for that maneuver, and that is it. 3 points for the back take. Just a minute 18 left.
Here's a very complicated situation here for Mike Perez with a 3 points
armbar
down.
transition now. Trying to get it straight. Out goes Michael Perez.
Now he heads to 1 minute to score anything.
Just like our last match, when your opponent makes a mistake, the level here is too high.
You cannot make a mistake.
You cannot make one single mistake.
Yeah,
Perez in that scramble gave up his back. 3 points.
Now Perez has to do something now. It's like last 40 seconds. You need to go for a takedown, hoping to take a back and maybe draw and push this fight to the extra time. But you can see the difference of size is so big.
That's when that size is such a factor. You try to...
Here we go, the double leg well sprawled here by Saunders.
The weight of those hips, you can feel it from here.
It makes a difference, you know.
Having to sit back and guard. Josh Saunders knows he can just hang on to the head, that front choke position, and stall. 20 seconds left.
Good
Now,
position here,
high
crotch here by Mike Perez. Saunders defending really well here by anchoring with the left hand here under the legs, stopping and use the sprawling. And now you can see it's very difficult with the difference of weight, the leg, just a little sprawling.
Going guillotine with a couple seconds left, nothing there.
And next round, Saunders.
Great performance. Got to give credit to the smaller man, Michael Perez, but in the end, Josh Saunders able to win this one by a score of 3-0. advances to the quarterfinals, 99 plus. That is a big man, heavy hips. Don't let him get ahead of you, Braulio. Don't give up your back, because he'll take advantage.
Yeah, so big and so, did you see the pressure when he controlled to be able to hold Mike Perez with that tightness? The pressure's on, you know. Look at that. Does he on the pressure on the...
On mat number 2, we got Luke Griffith against Mansur Makhmakhanov from Kazakhstan. Luke Griffith, the new wave jiu-jitsu athlete, the first place at the European and African trials. 2-time winner of the trials is Luke Griffith. Mansur Makhmakhanov is the 2024 Asian and Oceania trials winner. And there's been a lot of talk about Luke Griffith being one of the favorites for this division. He's got a big task ahead of him, stacked bracket, but a lot of people are looking at Luke to be one of the guys to make some noise here today.
Yeah, his skill sets just keep getting higher and higher. He's trying to slide to the back. Let's see if he can get there. He did. Mansur tried to throw him, but he was too around the corner. Look at this on the back with, didn't have hooks in yet. Got an over-under. Get a little high there, actually. He's getting a little high. Got double unders. There he's now. Secured that back position. Double underhooks, I think, kept him from falling off. One hand under the chin already, or across the face. This is all he'll need right here. So now you're going to see him. Yep, that's it. Put a pressure. Rear naked strangle finish already, Ricardo.
Wow. Less than 2 minutes. As I said, a lot of people are looking at Luke to be the one to take this division, and he did it in just less than, I think it was 1 minute and 80 seconds, or sorry, 1 minute and 40 seconds. Very impressive match.
Yeah, exceptionally. Really looking forward to his day today. I agree with you, and his performances have just been better and better every time you see this young man.
Let's take a look at the replay. Luke was able to get to the back very early.
Locking horns right now in the center of mat 1 is Roosevelt Sousa representing Fight Sports and Vince Pezzuto of B Team. This is mat 1. My name is Jake Watson, joined by Jay Regalbuto, back from the break and ready to continue the action. Snap down attempt, albeit a little half-hearted from Vince Pezzuto, perhaps not expecting it to fully work.
Roosevelt Sousa, returning bronze medalist from the 2022 plus 99 division. Pezzuto, great trials run, taking silver in the West Coast trials. Great run for the big B team representative. Pretty well matched size-wise here. You know, sometimes this plus 99 can be pretty dramatic from somebody that's, you know, 230 pounds and somebody that's, you know, 280, you know, that size. But these two pretty evenly matched. Roosevelt, again, well-rounded, likes to get into the legs as well.
And finding somebody as large as Roosevelt Sousa to match up with can be difficult if you're a matchmaker. Roosevelt shared success as well in the trials, 2022 Brazil trials winner. That punched his ticket to the world stage in 2022.
Number 2 seed here today for Sousa.
The possessor of a deadly, explosive straight ankle lock.
Yes, he does. Yeah, when he's on it, you got to be boogieing quick defensively, or you're going to be in a world of trouble quickly. Pezzuto, big boy hanging on the back of that head. And again, shooting forward in this weight class is a difficult thing. You're not trying to be the guy like we saw in the last match with Vinny and Ramos. You know, you don't want to be the guy that's carrying the weight of your opponent, especially in those chest to back situations. You know, guard's a little different. You're carrying a different kind of pressure that way. So again, I feel like these two are going to go for a bit before one either takes the other down or even concedes the bottom. Just over 2 minutes till points.
The photographers in front of Mat 1 over here are very bold.
Very, very bold.
Shallow right underhook for Sousa, blocked with the left hand by Pezzuto.
For that drag there. Had that right arm as a down block and was able to get that drag. Was able to get behind him, Jake. Let's see if they were, let's see if they give him the wrap on the back or if they just, nah, they're gonna start him neutral. They were yelling for the body lock. Again, you're restarted to where the referee says stop, you know? Collar tied here from Pezzuto. Trying to punch an underhook is Sousa. Again, like you said, Jake, a lot of that upper body influence we see. I think it's just an easier thing to learn, but also too, it's really effective for our sport. Like getting behind somebody takes away so much vulnerability. Those throw-bys like he was doing, those drags, being able to get behind. Again, when you look at the scores in ADCC, so many of them, the vast majority, come from the score from the back. Getting behind your opponent, not a bad idea in these situations.
Jay, do you speculate that, given the skill set and the preferred techniques, typically of Roosevelt Sousa, that we might see him pull guard with just a few seconds remaining in the regulation time?
Yeah, and there you go. You called it, Jake.
Look at that. Look at that.
I mean, right on cue, like he was mic'd up. So he is going to decide to take a seated position before the points come on. So he's dragged off with his right hand to the far side of Pezzuto, butterflied off with the right leg. Trying to win the head position here is Pezzuto. You see him trying to get his head under and across, wrapping with that left arm. Roosevelt Sousa understands that, and you see him keep crossing his head back down. Wants to get to that far leg.
Yeah, Pezzuto blocking with that right hand, keeping his hips back. Roosevelt trying to dig that right underhook and elevate a little bit to force Pezzuto to react in a way that allows him to shoot forward.
And Pezzuto's probably incredibly prepared for that. You know, they found out the brackets last night. You're able to really prep for at least the people on your side of the bracket and what you may see. Oh, look at that.
This.
Backstepped across Ashi. And
there's the footlock we were talking about. And Vince Pezzuto spins out. Not completely out of danger yet.
And we are into the points portion. And that's what you were saying, Jake, like explosive movement to get in on that leg. Pezzuto training at B team. They're messing with his legs constantly. I assume big boy like Vince, they probably don't even want to have him, you know, chest to chest on them.
One thing I can say about Sousa, watching him not just in no-gi competition, but even with the gi on, is he has a very nimble and dynamic guard for somebody as big and imposing as he is. And we're seeing this, especially over the past, I would say, 5-6 years of competition. The heavyweights are no longer just pushing each other around. They're no longer opting specifically for top situations and heavy wrestling and half-guard passing. There's a lot of dynamic guard entries being used and consistently practiced in these heavier divisions.
They're so much more athletic. You know, you could see it in their physiques. Even the heavier guys are so fast. And so, hey, ADCC legend Tom DeBlast stopping by to say hello. 3.5 minutes to go. Close guard now for Sousa. Now, you know, also too, these positions like close guard, you see Pezzuto standing up, doing the correct thing to break that open. But as far as the passivity calls when it comes to ADCC, things like close guard and not opening up, you'll see them really focus on getting you to move from those positions. But these guys have been active the whole time. And
And once again, back step, now looking potentially, he's spinning underneath almost like he was looking for a knee bar, but here is a look on the footlock, and Vince Pezzuto spinning out once again. It looks like Roosevelt Sousa was getting so deep on that leg entry, but Pezzuto able to find that small opening to escape. 2 minutes, 38 seconds left as they reset in the center.
Yeah, and that's a go-to for Sousa, that ankle lock from that spot off that cross-ashi. So feel like his corner, Dima, and the B team probably were really ready for that specific motion, that specific, you know, entry into the ankle lock, and he just looks ready for it both times he'd attack now. Now, man, Jake, when it comes to the decision here, they're looking at who initiated action more. This is pretty even here right now. You know, you had some good actual attacks at a sub from Sousa. Pezzuto has been, oh, look at this, wrestle up from bottom here.
Trying to suck the hips in. Gets up to his feet. Pezzuto unable to fully sprawl and gets taken down to the ground, forced to turtle. Both hooks in.
Oh, big move here.
And
Hooks are in. That's going to get him the score. Sousa, good timing on that.
That is a crucial transition for Roosevelt Sousa.
Yeah, he's gonna go up by 3. Says 2. He should be up by 3 for that back take there from Sousa. Yeah, there you see the squirrel just to 3. Body triangled off. Again, now you got a minute and a half for Pezzuto to have to not only escape this, but score.
And with a heavy arch on the back as well, you can see him trying to reorient his hips. Does a great job of getting that one hook out, still fighting to get out of this position and keep his hopes alive.
Yeah, the problem was if that hook was out long enough on that escape, he's going to get another 3 on the back here, and he is now up 6 with a minute to go. So you can rescore, Jake, by extracting your foot out of there and opening up the hip for that 3-second count to reset the position. It was actually Pezzuto's defense in that situation that removed the hook. 3 seconds to gather it back in, and it'll put him up 6-0 here in the opening round of the plus 99 division.
Winner of this match will move on to face the recently victorious Luke Griffith. And barring a miracle, that will be Roosevelt Sousa.
Yeah, Pezzuto would have to submit him at this point. He's got 15 seconds to do so. Roosevelt Sousa trying to earn another invite back by making it to day 2, and he did plenty of work here in his first match to get him one step closer to that.
Roosevelt Sousa victorious 6-0 here in the first round. His journey towards ADCC gold remains intact.
Sousa Griffith for that quarterfinal round, Jake. That's going to be a fun one.
Just an awesome submission highlight. Very good judo, very good close guard. Very exciting competitor all around. Honorio comes from a powerlifting, more wrestling-based, top pressure, heavy game, a little bit more methodical, I dare say, than a guy like Haisam Rida. But Honorio has a lot of experience in jiu-jitsu, in grappling. He's beaten some of the best out there, including Felipe Pena in the gi, you know, many years ago. But Honorio has a lot of experience. It'll be interesting to see how this plays out here today.
Yeah, I think that's what Haisam's going to really have to do is you're going to have to open Honorio up, because he's not going to do it for free. You know, he doesn't make many mistakes. He's one of those guys that just doesn't make a lot of mistakes.
He's very strategic.
Yes.
He's
and
very,
good. Yes, correct. And got the skill set to back it up. So,
but when he, the thing is, you know, we say strategic, we're not trying to downplay his skill, because when he pulls the trigger on double legs, especially, it's very hard to defend. He usually ends it. So Haisam's got to watch. I feel like he's got to watch the overexposure of his front legs, unless he's really, really anticipating like a counter judo type throw, or maybe attacking Honorio's hands for like a Kimura standing lock. You know, again, interesting to see how this will play out. Eight minutes, 23 seconds left in this match.
Yeah, you can see Heisam's got that collar tie, but Honorio's got that little thumb post over the top. Take a little bit of pressure off. You see him pushing away a little bit like that. Takes some of that collar tie pressure away.
So the winner of this match will be taking on potentially Dan Manasoyeu from New Wave Jiu-Jitsu. Big Dan, if Big Dan gets through his first round. And the winner of those two would potentially be against Luke Griffith, and the winner of Roosevelt Sousa, Vince Pezzuto. So a lot of interesting stylistic matchups here at ADCC, as it always is.
Collar and wrist tie. Once again, you can see that thumb post on the other side for Honorio to try to get some space. Some working on the head.
See that classic judo head chuck?
Yeah.
Even though it's with no gi. And I feel like Honorio, I feel like he's waiting for that 5-minute mark to start really getting a little bit more aggressive and make those shots. Oh, as I say that, motion for the double.
Yeah, that's right.
Didn't really go full in.
Well, the other thing is the height difference, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, both have their advantages with the height difference. Honario's already low, so it doesn't take him much of a level change to get to the hips. Haisam, whereas Haisam is that taller guy who could just easily hit snap downs, et cetera, et cetera.
But the thing is, Haisam's arms are so damn long.
They are.
So even though Honorio's center of gravity is, you know, obviously lower, and he should be able to get those doubles, Haisam can defend them with his arms for sure.
Yeah, he's got it all about hand fighting. Everything here on the feet is hand fighting, hand fighting, hand fighting. Most important part of this initial process is all about the hand fighting and the positioning of your body. Haisam on that collar tie. He's snapping down on Honorio, but he's not really moving him. It'd be nice for him to start moving him around a little bit, side to side. There he goes. That's always better. Not only just to snap him down. I mean, Honorio has his left knee underneath his chest, so you can see that even though Haisam has that collar tie, see how Honorio's left leg starts to get underneath that side. It's a little bit far away, but that's what you need. So that's going to help. So I guess it's not going to help eliminate snap downs, but that definitely helps take a lot of that pressure away. Now there's the go, 5 minutes. So now it's points. Both guys, Haisam trying to get double underhooks, really digging in for those underhooks. Now to lift them up and then snap them down. That's always, there he goes. That's a great thing to think about. It's good. It's kind of a good thing to think. Like you got double underhooks, somebody moving their hips back. Snap downs are a very good idea. That was a nice shot. That's what you were talking about earlier, Ricardo. He is lightning fast.
He can move for a big guy.
Yes, he can. Bring the leg up now.
Haisam doing a great job of getting that hip and leg out.
Yeah.
Frustrating Honorio a little bit.
Yeah, Honorio just sort of stopped right there as his leg started getting, lower and lower in the leg. Got to bring the leg to the front right away.
So referee's giving some warnings to Haisam, Rida. So what I don't see is Haisam pulling guard. I definitely don't see Honorio doing it.
No.
But I do think if Haisam does decide to go for the pull, he really has to make sure it's in the closed guard and nothing else, because Honorio's top pressure is really, really strong. It's really powerful. So he's really got to be careful to cross those T's, dot those I's if he decides to pull. Unless he's going to continue with the stand-up exchanges with Honorio, which, I mean, Haisam's got a very unorthodox game, and he's got a good team. He's got a lot of monsters on the mat to train with. So he recognizes a lot of the intricacies of a wrestler, even though he's more of a judoka-style takedown artist. So it'd be interesting to see how this plays out. But it looks like the referee keeps like warning Haisam. I wonder what he's seeing that we're not here from the commentary table.
I'm not sure. He's trying an overhook, which is not a bad idea because of the height difference. Underhook's sometimes going to be difficult to get in there. It looks like he's going to try to turn on an Uchimata, but he's got a long way to go to get underneath there on an underhook, unless he's shooting like a single leg first and then building up. The overhooks a little bit easier for the taller man.
Honorio with another takedown attempt, and Haisam just stuffed it.
Yeah, he did. He didn't really have a lot of setup on that, just lowered his level and went. And didn't really clear the arms out. He's again digging the overhook. Not a bad tactic.
Minute 45 seconds left in this match. Victor Honorio, the man from GF team, against Haisam Rida from the B team. Austin, Texas versus Rio de Janeiro.
I think that overhook, you see Honario's arm position though. I mean, he's in such good defensive position every time, where Haisam's trying to get the overhook in there, but you see the arm in the armpit to just shut that down. But on the flip side, I believe that there he goes. Honario's got to start trying something a little bit as well.
Oh, saw Haisam going for that throw attempt there.
Could have potentially turned into an Osotogari type of movement and leads to all kinds of things.
.45 seconds left in this match. Haisam Rida, Victor Honorio. Nobody scored yet. Doesn't look like there's any penalties either.
Yeah.
A little break to the action once again.
Pep talk.
Yeah, referee warning both competitors for inactivity here. Remember, this is called submission fighting.
Yeah.
So, and ADCC is known as being one of the most aggressive submission tournaments in the world, and that's what people want to see. That's what people are tuned in all over the world on FloGrappling to watch. That's what people came to Las Vegas from all over. Look at that single leg attempt there by Honorio, but halt to action. No, yeah, that's the end of the round there. So end of the opening, the regulation period of this match. Little too late. for Victor Honorio. We're gonna have a 5-minute overtime to see who wins this.
Haisam definitely picked up the pace right there. I mean, near the end, he's really picking up the pace. But it's proving to be very difficult to get Honorio out of position. Very, very good defensively.
So winner of this match will face Dan Manasoyeu from New Wave Jiu-Jitsu later on today. Minutes, 43 seconds left in this match. Not a ton of action in this overtime. Based off of everything you've seen so far, Sean, who do you feel gets the nod here if they go to a decision, considering the regulation and overtime?
Yeah, I mean, I think you gotta lean toward Haisam. He's the one that's, I mean, he's trying, right? He's certainly got more activity. Now, that doesn't take away from Honorio's defensive skills. I mean, he's just in such good position.
But do you give it to Haisam, or do you give it for Honorio's, you know, he's had quite a few.
He's had a couple of good shots.
Entries, he's had a couple of shots,
yeah.
You know. But he's been very defensive.
That's the tough one.
Yeah.
Folks. Nice little foot sweep attempt to get back up on the head as a snap down, but underhook. That's running straight backwards right off the mat. So sure we'll see more of that. Running off the mats. Takedown attempt. That, I mean, that underhook work bode well that time. So maybe that's something, again, he's been looking for these underhooks all the time. He's just got to create an angle. He's trying to rush straight backwards. And he's got the arm length to do it, to tap the far knee when they're running, but he's got to get around to the side a little bit, I think, and then start taking off. It's an overhook. It's getting a little bit deeper in with the overhook, but nope. Honorio really defensively sound.
And I feel like even though they're so tight, I know Haisam really wants to be careful with those legs. You know, he felt the grip of Honorio with those singles earlier. So it's easy for somebody to be like, you know, come on, Haisam, start throwing. We want to see throws like we normally do, but he's got to be careful because that exposure of that leg is all that Honorio needs to take him down and win this match.
Yeah, definitely.
Minute and 30 left in this overtime.
Yeah, he's not really able to get any connection for those type of throws, so it would be very risky for him just to stick his hip in there. There's a nice underhook. See that head position. I can hardly move him. Snap downs are now. So looking to move him side to side, snap him down, then start to work for those far knee picks or getting around the corner. He's trying to get around the corner, but again, just so good defensively right now. Not really getting rid of that thumb post, so.
I mean, we're in Vegas, and at this point, it's kind of a gamble. I feel like, you know, whether you think you're going to win by this kind of decision, or you just go for it. You know,
Yeah,
just shoot
this is
for
a tight
close
one.
guard. You got to do something here.
Yeah, this is a really tight one. I mean, I don't. You know, obviously, Haisam hasn't saw any sort of like exceptionally low single, but that might be something if it's in his wheelhouse to give it a try. He's been all upper attacks and snap downs. I mean, if you got like a really low single, just to shoot in there and try to get some movement going or lift or get in, cut through the middle. I don't know if he has that in his game. I don't think so, but there's that beautiful little Sasai, like, not bad. I mean, got some, and that's what I mean, like those things. I think he's had more of those. He's really trying to open up, but who do you give it to? I think I would lean a little bit more towards Haisam, but I'm not the one in charge.
Yeah,
it's tough.
Do they give it to Haisam, you know, for the grips, for the
so that they get
forward pressure?
Yeah, the forward pressure.
It's hard to say. Or do they give it for Honorio for the, you know, somewhat of shot attempts?
Yeah.
Grabbing the singles. It's really, really tough.
It is. We'll see here in a second. I think if Honorio had a few more of those, it would be different, but we'll see. Yeah.
And Haisam Rida is your winner on mat number 2. You called it, Sean Williams.
I just felt like he was a little bit more aggressive.
Yeah, he's just
Big. It could apply to a lot of these guys.
But also Mark, McQueen, he could be called Big Mark too.
It's going to be absolutely unbelievable. Daniel Manasoyeu.
Daniel, that's only a purple belt, but the level of a very high accoladed black belt, man. He makes people look silly. Very good on leg locks, knee bars, heel hooks.
Yeah, got a lighter man's game. Manasoyeu from the United States. As you can see, a big heavyweight, Mark McQueen, winner of the European trials from the UK. We look at Manasoyeu. Of course, he won the USA trials from New Wave Jiu-Jitsu.
He had good approach by Mark. With a nice takedown with no points, with a sweep approach here by Big Dan. You could see Big Dan use these hook sweeps to get underneath of the hip for the heel hooks.
Well, you can see the leverage he generates. Very, very tall, very, very long legs. Got to watch out for sweeps, and as you said, leg attacks from a guy like that. You get entangled by him, ain't going anywhere.
It's over.
Yeah.
And he's so strong, and he plays a very distinct guard. He plays more this guard to the left side, you know, using the right foot underneath, which majority of the people plays to the other side, so it's kind of confusing for the guard passer.
And Manasoyeu able to push off that Z guard, but content here to play from the side.
Yeah, he's even though he's so big and so strong, his guard game is very, very good. Gets underneath very easy. Look at that. It's the single.
Easy stand up to single leg.
You can see that he's not giving 100%. He's kind of pacing himself.
I was about to ask you that. It seems like he's willing to let it go, and first 5 minutes, no points, so don't expend a lot of energy.
This is a good approach that he does for the heel hooks.
Looks like McQueen has done his homework. He brought that leg down immediately. You called it, champ. Manasoyeu just playing easy game. Little Z guard, open guard, looking for something to open up from Mark McQueen, of course, from the UK. European trials champion. Much more that traditional heavyweight build, a little bit stockier, a little bit shorter. Manasoyeu with those long legs, what we call a sweeper's guard.
Yeah, he's so dangerous on that. But you don't see, like, it's very hard to find training partners for those big guys, right? So, but Dan has the likes of Gordon Ryan to train with, Nicholas Marigali. So
mobile heavyweights who can do everything.
Exactly. Yep. Mark putting pressure here. 2.5 minutes to go for the points. You see both contenders kind of just feeling each other. Good frame here by Big Dan to don't let Mark get too close.
I don't know, Braulio. I'm not seeing a purple belt out here.
No, he's so good.
I don't know
He's so
about the
good.
purple belt thing right now. Jake Shields, of course, took bronze in ADCC as a purple belt. Marcel Garcia won his first one as a brown belt. It does happen, but this guy's got black belt technique.
Yeah, I mean, like, maybe he's training more gi.
Yeah,
He'll get to probably the black
spending
belt.
too much time in no-gi. That's what it is.
Good approach here by Mark. Very well defended here by Big Dan with Uchimata.
Uchimata also threatening to roll through with that leg. That tends to be his counter from that position.
And then if you blink, he ends up in a heel hook.
Yeah. But is that part of the danger right now, Braulio, is the first 5 minutes, maybe the guy's going smooth, what you don't realize, and then as soon as point time, you got to worry about that explosion. You got to worry about him suddenly going to 100.
Yeah, that's what usually happens.
Yeah.
You know, because then it's game on, right? And then you have 5 minutes to put in practice everything that you felt during the first round, like at the first half of the match.
Uchimata once again to a kind of half roll through.
1 minute to go, 40 points.
Right now,
you see a different Daniel when in 50 seconds.
You can see it in his face right now. We can see it on the other side of the camera. But Big Dan right now, emotionless, read and react. Right now is when you get all your information. For people who remember that prime Anderson Silva, right? First round I read you, second round I take you out. Similar kind of thing in grappling.
It's pretty much that. This happens a lot here in the ADCC, especially in the finals, because that is 10 minutes, no points, and 10 minutes with points. In the overtimes, there is no water or whatsoever. Basically, just reset the point, the time.
Right now, Manasoyeu very comfortable on the bottom.
10 seconds to start the points.
We'll see how things change the next 5 seconds when points begin.
Points is on.
And the referee let him know. Now, Mark McQueen so far has been solid. That has
Here we go.
Easy sweep.
To the back.
One hook in.
See, he made it look so easy, right?
Smooth, unbelievable.
He's so technical.
And Mark McQueen, not a small heavyweight, ladies and gentlemen. That's a heavy man.
And you can tell that he wasn't trying to do much when he was in the first half.
One hook in, but taking his time for that second hook. And there it is.
There we go.
Both legs in. As soon as it's confirmed, that should be 3 points.
He should.
And there it is.
3 points for Big Dan against Mark McQueen from the UK.
And as you know, you better have a strong back when someone's got hooks on and they're that big. With those legs, it is torture.
It's not comfortable. It's not fun at all. And here Dan is kind of getting deeper here of the gift wrap here, controlling hand to hand on the seat belt.
But it's just as you called it, champ. As soon as they said points, it was boop, right over with the sweep.
Straight away. So now look, see the Big Dan let one hook off and already adjust for to the second hook to the other side.
Every time he puts it in, it's going to be another 3 points. It's a strategy a lot of people employ here at ADCC.
A good position here for Big Dan would be that half Nelson above the head and turn it to be able to put the second hook in.
Yeah, that power half Nelson from the back is just brutal.
It's incredible. It's my favorite position. There we go.
There it is.
Now
just as you called it, champ.
It's coming. That's very unlike. Oh, maybe he just saved some energy. He was in the good spot to do so.
All right, now Mark McQueen from the UK has to get something going here. Manasoyeu right now is having his way with him. That 3-0 you're seeing is from a back take. Took his hooks out, content to ride, kind of wrestling style here.
Yeah, I think Big Dan is kind of just cruising, controlling without exposing much of energy, because he will need it. And Mark has to do something now. That's 2 minutes and 25 seconds. He has to wake up and do something.
And also the old school style, Braulio, was Your opponent's carrying your weight. Are you ahead? You're winning, right?
Yeah.
It's, okay, I'm on top of you. You got to carry me and you, and I'm ahead. It's over, right?
It's a very difficult position.
Tough. And that's what we're seeing a lot is new school movement, old school pressure, right? Once you're on it,
and then, mate, if you play like the control points, control game in jiu-jitsu, pressure control, and when you have 3 points ahead and you are in the advantage position, if you don't want to move, if you just want to, it's just difficult. It's a harder fight to fight against. Right. And that's what Dan is doing. He's just like getting in an advantage position and let Mark do the escape and open up like he just did right now.
Just as you called it, tried to open up to get out, and right now, Big Dan waiting to put those hooks in. Manasoyeu right now playing a very, very solid positional game, fighting very, very smart.
Yeah, 1 minute, 25 seconds here with the end of the match. Dan winning 3-0 against McQueen. Mark kind of need to put the third gear on. Now it's all or nothing.
So when people ask why guards from black belts are so hard to pass, is because black belt passes your guard or gets hooks, so you'll never get it back. You'll never get that territory back against someone who knows how to sit their hips down. Once again, hooks in.
Another 3 points here for Big Dan in a much better control position this time here, sprawling.
Talk about the misery, right? Having those hips on you. Mark McQueen suffering on bottom.
This is a very good bad situation that when you're there, you are under pressure and nothing you can do about it. And it's full control from Dan here.
I gotta say, Braulio, this heavyweight bracket is looking absolutely fantastic so far.
Yeah, I mean, all the main contenders are passing by. So going to the quarterfinals here, 20 seconds to go, and Big Dan gonna jump into the quarterfinals.
And just the way they want to. One-sided matches, not spending a lot of energy.
Especially
in
for the
cruise
size.
control, yeah.
Yeah, it's very smart.
It looks like 6-0 is where it's gonna stay. And that is it. Manasoyeu with an impressive first round win over McQueen. Talk about using your build the right way. Those legs were in effect.
But in recent years, has spent a lot of time at Atos with Andre. His super fight opponent from 2019. All right, here we go. Hansen in the black and white. Black gold for Pena. Again, winner's gonna move on to day 2. You know, I think a big thing too, Jake, is it's probably, you know, a bit of a relief. Like a small victory getting to day 2. Actually a big victory. Like knowing you're gonna get an invite back. You know, I think that's a huge thing for these guys. They'll leave it off here. Yeah, Hansen, traditionally the one who likes to play bottom first before he gets to top and start his passing and all that. But Pena able to make his way to the bottom first here.
Yeah, a shot at the second day of competition is a guaranteed shot at third place.
Yes.
Meaning even if you lose in your first fight on day 2, you will have a second fight. That experience can be so valuable for some of the competitors who we're going to be watching here not only today but tomorrow.
And pretty sure this is the first time these two have met. Trying to elevate here is Pena from bottom. Hansen, he'll sit to that right hip, scoop with that left arm.
He looks to sweep and get up on top, does Pena.
And with 4 points, but it looks like he will be successful there. Pena submits Brandon Reed to make it here to the quarterfinals. Hansen beating Heikki Jussila. make his way to the quarters. Framed off from a shielded half guard. Here is Hansen.
This is something Felipe Pena does a lot in his competitions where he is on top. He likes to jam that ankle, bring his left arm across to switch his hip.
Trying to get that post off of his head is Hansen. Trying to sit up from the butterfly. Keeping that head in position. Pena keeping one leg up. Staying on the knees, trying to control that far side leg and high step out here.
Oh, Pena further to the side now, really scooping the back of that head. But Hansen doing a good job keeping that right leg in play to prevent the fullness of the guard pass.
Yeah, Hansen, very good bottom player, very good wrestle-ups. He's over top of that. Okay, I thought he was over top on a Kimura there.
Look at this, Felipe Pena finds the back, at least with the seatbelt. Let's see if the hooks will come after.
Keeping tight head position. Gets
One
that
knee
first
is
hook in.
And the second one.
There it is.
Not in the points period, but
Yeah.
great control nonetheless.
The thing here for Pena, though, is Pena is very good from finishing in this position. He's very good at finishing strangles from the back here. Oh, wow, and he might be in on it already here.
Oh, that's it!
And, wow.
Felipe Pena sending statements left and right. Punches his ticket to day 2 and keeps the much-needed momentum going for his super fight later versus the King.
Pair of submissions here for Pena to make his way to day 2, but he's got one more tonight.
And looking in prime.
But he's still the big out of them.
He's big even for this division.
He's still big. He's still big and not so big. Damon, Ramos.
Enzo Gracie. Once again, Josh Saunders, the bigger man. Damon Ramos representing the United States. Haven't seen him yet on mat number 3. Josh Saunders, of course, as we said, the bigger man in his opening round matchup.
Damon Ramos that defeated Vinny Magalhaes, which has just got his Hall of Fame yesterday. So it's a big statement.
Yep. Taking on and defeating the veteran name has to do a lot for his confidence going into this matchup. Josh Saunders, of course, Asia trial winner. Asia and Oceania, which is Australia as well.
Felipe Pena just fought the first match on the quarterfinals, the first area, and then is qualified to the semifinal, showing his favoritism on this category.
Once again, Josh Saunders having the going for the body lock, trying to use that size advantage.
Very good
Damon
approach
Ramos.
here. So taking it back, baby. Yo, take down. Ooh. Saunders looking really, really good.
He just seems so solid in these 2 rounds.
Solid, precise, and don't make me say here to the back, ignoring the arm of Damon. Put the hooks in. There's no points, but he's going for the submission anyway.
Doesn't matter if he gets the rear naked. And he got it.
Set up. Wow. Under 2 minutes, and Josh Saunders passed to the semifinals and gonna face the one and only Felipe Pena. That will be fireworks. Wow, what a performance. Both submitting the two.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We're here for this titanic showdown between Haisam Rida and Dan Manasoyeu. Haisam Rida representing Ghana. Daniel Manasoyeu, actually born in Romania, though it says he is representing the United States of America.
Hey, leg locker, but at his size, his leg locks become extremely devastating. Like, the power that he's able to put into his leg attacks is scary.
Oh, it's terrible.
You even ask the people that he trains with, and they say similar things. Not that he's ripping leg locks on his teammates, but still a scary situation. Mercy gripped here from Big Dan. Big Dan, another one who really utilized the opens to get experience in the rule set and scoring. And I want to say he took home about 10 gold medals since we started the Open through Canada and the United States. On top, he's got Haisam Rida, the Giraffe, 2022. Had that highlight reel armbar over Cyborg. Also made an appearance in the Absolute.
Now, I'm going to tell you something. Last ADCC 2022, Dan Manasoyeu competed. He was not old enough to attend the ADCC after party. This man is like kid. 23 years old.
He's a young guy.
Oh, look at this. Haisam Rida trying to leap over the top. Give them the bottom position, though. Now Dan Manasoyeu on top and bringing the pressure forward.
Yeah, when he comes up, too, like when he wrestles himself up, he comes forward very, very strong.
And now,
like aggressive.
Putting the pressure down, body lock.
Forces half guard here on Rida. Now leaning that weight forward.
Really putting the pressure on the head. You can see just how much pressure that is on Haisam Rida.
Because that connection is right at the shoulder. He's pinning head to head, and that will.
Oh, looking for the smother.
Oh man, I didn't think we'd get a smother here. So what he'll look to do is center the nose of Rida in the middle of his chest. Does look like he's not gonna spend a terrible amount of time on it. And maybe try to isolate here, get an arm above the head.
Dan Manasoyeu's continued ability to get this smothered choke has led to the arrival of several Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu internet memes. And now turning it into a head and arm choke. Beautiful transition by Dan Manasoyeu, and that's gonna do it. Big Dan Manasoyeu makes it happen again in signature Big Dan fashion.
And he's moving on to face his teammate and great friend Luke Griffith in the semifinals tomorrow.
Back from WNO, Luke Griffith got the win by leg lock. If I do recall.
Yeah. Well, Luke had a really nice fight, but he's using these underhooks to get around the back super well. It's something I want to see. I'm interested to see if he uses the same approach here. Or if he just tries to, hey, I'm going to try to go after Roosevelt's legs. But he's been using the underhooks to get around the backside really well. Did it on his first contest. I saw him do it against Kenan Duarte and get the back really well. So once he gets that underhook, that does a beautiful arm drag trip. Nice use of the leg play to disrupt the balance. There's the underhook. So collar tie, inside tie. Roosevelt needs a push. Like that left arm's not, there he goes. Not behaving well. There he could go again. There's the underhook, how he's been sliding around the corner with that underhook. He'll throw his leg up towards that far hip and slide around the corner. You might see him use a foot trip. There he goes again. You see that?
Yep.
Slides around the corner. Beautiful. Second time of the day today for him to use this same back take. He's on the arm. Great position with one hook in. Now he's almost on the back here. Roosevelt's in deep water, man. Got the hooks in already. Working on the back now.
So the winner of this match will face the winner of Haisam, Rida, and Daniel Manasoyeu coming up later on. Very interesting bracket here.
The strangle's already on the face. If that gets locked all the way in, that's going to be a done deal. Yep, here it comes. There it is.
And Luke Griffith gets the submission. Choke from the back. He's 2 for 2 with submissions.
Yeah, we have to cue up the takedown, what's happening for him. I'd like to see that again. A second one of the day. And I think we're going to see that all day. And I think if it gets countered, he's going to add a little foot play on there to disrupt the balance and make it even easier to get around the corner.
The buzz around the training room at New Wave Jiu-Jitsu is Luke is looking very tough.
He is making easy work of these monsters right now. I mean, he made that look easy. That's not easy. Roosevelt's a beast.
Roosevelt Sousa, I mean, has, you know, one of the
And there is Pena and Josh Saunders. They're going to be our first match here on mat number 3. Pena trying to do what you did, Braulio. Triple Crown winner. But he's trying to do it all in the same event. Fell short, of course, against Gordon Ryan in the super fight last night. You got to wonder. He looked a little. There were a couple positions where, man, if he'd exploded a little bit faster, he would have had him. He fought twice yesterday. Was he just asking a little too much of himself, maybe?
Yeah, I mean, ADCC is very complicated. It looks much easier on the outside than what it is, even though it already looks hard, right?
Yes.
You know, I think wasn't the differential that Felipe had 2 fights before Gordon. I think Gordon is just a one-of-a-kind guy. He's an incredible technical, very strong, and also, even though he wasn't, you could see that he wasn't feeling his best, even though he was able to beat Felipe Pena. It's a big statement on that.
And there is Josh Saunders, of course, a fighter from Australia. Got a submission over Ramos in the quarterfinals. 3-0 in his opening match. That was on this mat against Perez. Perez a little bit undersized. Saunders able to kind of bully him around a little bit, but a submission in the quarterfinals. And there is Pena, looks absolutely fantastic. 13-2 in the opening round. And then by submission over Hansen in the quarterfinals, 4 minutes, 6 seconds. Came up short in the super fight last night against Gordon Ryan, but incredible physical talent, technical, he has it all. Do you still consider him the favorite in this bracket after last night?
Well,
it's a tough bracket.
It's a tough bracket, you know, but Felipe Pena, he's in his best shape. Okay, he was able to do something with Gordon that nobody has ever done in the last 4 years. Yep. So, yeah, but Saunders has been shown a very good game for ADCC. He's tall, he's strong, he's agile, and he has a very good pressure with patience, which is the hardest person to fight against. He knows when he's in a good position. He doesn't rush. So let's see. I think Felipe is going to have to pull guard as soon as possible, implement his game, and he should be fine.
As you know, first 5 minutes, and just as the champ called it, Pena dropping down for work some guard, because you can do that. First 5 minutes, no points. Not going to get a negative point for pulling guard. And you see that clubbing style of Saunders, man.
And again, same style that Gordon plays, you know, leaning forward, using the weight, using the gravity to wear down the opponent on the guard, which is very uncomfortable because it's so much heavy weight to keep pushing away. That's at some point your muscle
rolling through for the leg early.
Same situation that he did with Gordon. He's doing this really well.
Going for the inside heel hook. Can't see from here how deep it is, but the knee's out.
it would be good to see, look the difference, see like how the reaction is completely different than how, that shows how good Gordon is.
And Saunders wanted nothing to do with the bottom, trying to explode back to the top, which he does. And did not want to be on bottom against Pena. And Champ, you know well, you're a big guy, you're very technical, but dealing with the weight that a guy like Saunders can put on you, a guy like Gordon Ryan could put on you, it's tough for anybody. Doesn't matter what your technique level is.
Yeah, it's annoying, especially when you keep going so high up like that, because there's no leverage for sweeps or anything. And but Felipe is on his game. What Saunders is doing there, holding the neck, is very important. So Felipe doesn't develop. You can see that he could go under the deep half guard, but he cannot progress because there's no leverage or angles to create.
And what we saw yesterday, Champ, was these heavyweights, they move like they're 160. They move like much lighter guys. A lot of positions you didn't see even a few years ago. You're looking at mat number 3 here, FloGrappling. Action taking place on all 3 mats here in the semifinals.
And on the mat number 1, if you guys missed, Kainan just submitted Cyborg and passed it on to the finals.
And that's been a theme, right? That next generation, so incredibly good.
I definitely didn't expect that at all, because Cyborg was in such a good shape yesterday. You know, even though there's the age difference, but Cyborg is Cyborg, eh? So I didn't see how it went, but I definitely want to see on the replay later on today.
Rafael Lovato still in it, representing the old school.
Yeah, I mean, like, man, he's in a great shape.
JT Torres lost on this very mat yesterday. So, and you know, that's a theme, man. This next generation, so good, so technical.
Gary Tunham got tapped, and here on this match again.
In overtime against Shashinsky. Now Josh Saunders on top, half guard from Felipe Pena.
And the absolute today is going to be crazy. It's going to be epic.
Can't wait to see it.
And you're going to realize how there is no space between fights. You fight one now. As soon as the next fight finishes, you got called straight away back, which is different than the weight division, because they wait for the whole categories around to come, and then you do your second fight. In the absolute, is like back to back.
Talk about that a little bit, because Pena, of course, competed a lot yesterday, competed in the Super 5 with Gordon Ryan. How hard is it to mentally and physically kind of bounce back and get ready for the next bracket?
I mean, the absolute, to win the absolute, usually what happens, the majority of the people who won the absolute, they didn't win in the weight division, because it's very hard, because it becomes a marathon, right? So if you had 2 hard fights on Saturday, you will feel on Sunday. Right, but Felipe had one hard fight against Gordon, but the other ones he tapped both of his opponents. Yeah, but it was hard, but it wasn't like exhausting. You know, like it's not like going to extra times, takedowns like Jacare and Ricardo Almeida back in the day. My God, man, they were like
one of the greatest matches of all time.
30 minutes, they didn't stop. That would make a huge difference on the next day. And but at the same time, on today, whoever, if someone wins the weight in absolute, they will have to fight 6 times today, and that makes a huge difference on how you pass each match.
And if you remember that, Jacare next round against Salo, he just didn't have, Salo was just all over, and Jacare just didn't have the energy after that epic match, as you said, with Big Dog, Ricardo Almeida. And look at the pressure we've seen throughout this match. Josh Saunders put it on Pena. We're in points now. We're within 5 minutes. What we saw a lot yesterday was the veterans know when to explode, right when points happen. Pena still playing that patient bottom game. What we're hearing is a submission on mat number 2. Action on every mat once again here at FloGrappling. Do you think this might come down to Pena having that one big explosion, that one time he goes for it, maybe with a couple minutes left?
Yeah, hopefully he's gonna start acting a little earlier than before when he did with Gordon, because like sometimes if you leave to the very end and the person just countering, especially in the no-gi, it's very easy to kind of defend anything you do. You know, there's no grips. You know, there's a lot of it's very slippery, especially on the end of the match. So yes, he's trying to keep the frame that looks. He's trying to find an opportunity so he can invert that. He wants to get that underhook with the left arm, sorry. Maybe to spin to the knee bar to go to the 50-50, which he's good at. In the worst case scenario, he does that wrap that he did on World Ryan, and it's very successful. We need to get a name for that. That is not a name of that. Maybe the Pena guard.
The champ, you can name whatever you want. You have earned that. Whatever you call it, everyone's gonna listen to you, man. I'm not gonna argue with you.
No, yeah, but it's very interesting. And I saw when Gordon ended the match, he was actually limping for a little bit.
His knee got turned severely.
A lot.
Both guys just warned for inactivity. 2:40 left in regulation.
Opa, triangle.
Rolling through his Pena, inverting just like you said.
There we go.
And that 50-50. Going for the heel hook. Josh Saunders, good job staying mobile, trying to roll out. They go off the mat until the referee says stop. That's an important rule. Photographers right now getting ready to get out of the way.
It's a good position here for Pena if he keeps that foot under his control. You can see he holds by the end of the toes there. Oh, he's slippery.
That happened before. Every time he sat up, Saunders was ready to counter.
He let it go a little bit too soon.
And every time he tries to get underneath those hips, Saunders right there with that left arm.
He's so strong.
He's a strong guy.
Yeah. He's like the Rock.
There's certain guys, they have great technique, but they also beat you up every chance they get. In his matches, Saunders has been that guy. A lot of clubbing, head control.
Yeah. Like 1 minute and a half to end, and if there's a draw, they will come back as extra time, and that can be dangerous for Felipe's game, because you know Saunders is very good at standing up, and Felipe has to have a very good tactic on how to pull guard without giving the -1.
There's a lot of the strategy yesterday. It was to go to overtime, and the superior wrestler, superior takedown, was the one who walked away.
Also coming up soon, Wagner Rocha as well, coming to the semifinal. The old school, representing the old generations. You know, that was the upset with Nicholas Magalhaes when he got injured on the takedown against Pixley. And Pixley showing a very good game. Like
he might be the story of the first day yesterday.
Honestly, this ADCC rules suits him so well.
Calf lock position briefly, but Saunders able to kick out of it. And you said that about Saunders well. It's not just that he's technical and big. He's got the mindset for ADCC, right? He has the style that the rules tend to favor, right?
Yeah, and then he's a very awkward person to fight against because he's very strong, and also he defends really well. He doesn't expose much. He plays on the counterattack, and then he kind of, for him, is not going to change anything because he wants to be in standing, right? So if he goes to the extra time, he's go back to his world.
Going back to his strengths if he gets the opportunity. Fighter from Australia.
If you guys want to watch Lovato, he's fighting right now on the mat #1.
Rafael Lovato Jr., an OG of the sport.
The American pride.
Yep. Jiu-Jitsu world champion, hasn't been able to get the gold here in ADCC yet. We're now in overtime. Tends to favor, as you said, champ, the one with the better takedown, and can Pena maybe get back to guard without giving up those 2 points. Pena fighting hard in the collar tie, but neither guy committing to a takedown yet. There's a subtle difference, by the way, in ADCC between a foot sweep and a leg kick. pretty similar. We saw a couple of those yesterday. Like, that's veering over into a leg kick, but, you know.
Some big ones as well.
These are big boys. Felipe Pena, to a lot of people, the favorite in this bracket. A little eye poke. Pena not buying it. See him shaking his head. I don't want to give Saunders any break.
You don't see Felipe fighting someone taller than him very often. He's very tall. It's a different kind of game, you know. It can be very tricky, you know. That's one of the advantages that also Roger had on his generation, you know, because nobody was that size. So when you're not used to fight someone that has that kind of reach, everything that you make it work with normal people, there's always a little extra to go. And then with him, it doesn't work at all.
In the case of Saunders, somebody taller and wider. That guy is gigantic.
And he moves so well. He understands his body so well. It's incredible how he acts and reacts in jiu-jitsu, like flawlessly, but so awkward to do anything against him. Like Gordon when he was fighting Preguiça, he did it. Opa.
Oh, there's the takedown.
Takedown.
Can he stabilize it?
Not yet. Opa.
Pena turtling up.
Almost.
No points, no control, but Saunders got a negative. He has a negative point for a foul. Does Saunders?
Okay.
I don't know when that happened. Both guys are warned for inactivity, so it might have been an inactivity, a stalling call, essentially. We don't see it on the screen here, but you see it at the scorer's table. I just noticed that. Saunders has a -1, and they're not getting 2 points for the takedown because Pena able to turtle up as soon as he went down. You basically have to take someone down to their butt or their back to get that 2 points.
Yeah, it's going to be very difficult to keep him of those fighters on the with the butt on the ground.
They're so mobile. Yeah.
So Felipe, not sure if he actually knows, because I'll see that. Okay, now his corner starts saying that he's winning actually.
Still trying to be active, and it's gonna be hard with that -1. He's has to make that up in 1 minute and 35 seconds at this point. If you're Josh Saunders, who hasn't even come anywhere near passing Pena's guard this entire time. A lot of physical pressure, but no real commitment to the pass.
Opa lock. Body lock here by Saunders, which is dangerous. Oh, he's so mobile.
So mobile. Yeah, that's crazy.
Here in America, you say mobile.
Mobile, yeah. Someone's very mobile. They can move a lot. Yeah.
In UK, we say mobile.
There you go.
So like we are in the T-Mobile arena. As long as we're talking in the British
Everybody understands you, champ. It's all good, man.
T-Mobile.
Hey, your English way better than my Portuguese. All right, I only know the profanity when it got screamed at me on the mat. That's it.
Man, when I moved to UK, I landed straight away in Birmingham. Imagine without speaking anything.
Really tough.
It's great, my told
I speak English, and it's hard for me to understand.
I would like to take advantage here to send my regards to everyone from Birmingham. You know, every people who train jiu-jitsu.
Trying to sit up for a sweep, and once again, the mobility, Saunders never allowing it. Has the ankle. Is he going to go for it? 10 seconds left. Pena's got it in the bag with that -point. You see it on the screen right now.
They just another kick. Just made it. Tough match.
Very tough. But Pena, to a lot of people, the favorite in this bracket.
Straight to the finals. And he's going to face Griffith. that just submitted big
Manasoyeu, who was very tough.
Yeah.
And on
They
to
are
the
training
finals.
partners, right?
Yep.
An event that they switched up a little bit, having the teammates face off in the semifinals.
Yeah.
I believe it was a different format in the last ADCCs. So this is, you know, for a different reason. We want to make sure we see a true final here. And if teammates are going to face off, give them a chance to make it to the semis. And now we have two teammates from New Wave Jiu-Jitsu, Big Dan Manasoyeu and Luke Griffith.
Yeah. And you can see it's dicey already. These guys are hammering each other.
Luke is pretty heavy with those collar ties.
He was. And, you know, it's no shortage. Dan's going to sit down and try to get under the legs and either use that to sweep or get Luke in trouble. Obviously, Luke sees this every day, so he's definitely not going to allow himself to get put into a leg situation with Big Dan. But anyway, we'll see how he approaches this. Try to flying knee cut there. And you see how the stiff arm, I mentioned this yesterday, when you're doing seated versus standing, Luke nearly gets by. I call it the sweet spot, Ricardo. You want to put people on right on the top of their hip bone, and Luke almost gets by again. And what that does is it activates the core, your opponent's core. Like you can see when Dan's seated up and his chest is forward, he's got no stress in his legs. But as soon as he gets past that perpendicular line, there becomes stress in the core. That makes your legs weak. Now here we go. Dan's in on the leg. Luke was able to get out. He started his defense early enough. But that makes it really difficult for a seated player to be strong. So that's why you see Luke pushing him just a little bit backwards, pushing him a little bit backwards. You can spin your opponent, lots of things that can go wrong for your opponent.
So the winner of this match will take the winner of Felipe Pena,
Big Dan's
Josh
in on
Saunders.
this leg. He's in on this leg deep, and he's got his incredibly strong legs. Luke there gets past the feet. Dan up on a body lock here. The Sotogaki put down.
Great job going from that leg right to the takedown.
Absolutely. A good example of using that leg entry, cross heel hook entry into up in a body lock, and then he hit the Sotogaki, but it was just out of bounds, so they reset in this body lock.
Beautiful takedown attempt there by Dan Manasoyeu. Luke reverses, gets to the top position, and now let's see the guard of Dan in full effect. Luke disengages a little bit, wants to play that little sweet spot passing. There it is. Luke passes the guard of Big Dan, controlling the hip with that left arm, gets to the back, turning him away. Beautiful back take attempt there, just slips off to the side.
Near side underhook. Looking for double underhooks is Luke Griffith there.
You know, you talk about the storytelling of ADCC. There's not just a lot of pressure of winning ADCC, but you know, this is for the legacy of the team. Gordon Ryan was the champion of this division last year.
That's right. Yeah.
Can a new wave athlete come back, replace Gordon, and win? We're going to find out later today.
And the winner of this makes for a very interesting finals if Felipe Pena wins on the other side.
We're about a minute and a half away from the points portion of the match. Big Dan closed guard, opens up really quick, looking to get that seated guard position. It's been pretty even in the exchanges so far. Be interesting to see what happens at the 5-minute mark, how they change tactically, strategically, and technically. Especially, you know, guys that are in the training room day in and day out with each other.
That's right. You know, Luke has essentially done that flying knee cut, and he got past once. He's almost got past there again. So there it is. A flying knee cut. Try to chop slice through the guard. Now this is Dan's good side, I think. I think he had a very successful attack from that side earlier. So now you can see actually Luke circling to his left. So either that's his strong side or he knows that that's Dan's weaker side. So there's the flying knee cut again. He gets by, but then walks back in, trying to smash the legs, but again into another leg situation. Straight foot, like that's on pretty good there.
Big Dan attached to that foot now.
Luke separating the leg.
Giving some back exposure for Luke. Luke gets the mount with a head and arm.
It's a little, it looks to me that shoulders is pretty high. Now that doesn't mean you can't finish, but that if there's a tap here, that's gonna mean that Dan is essentially ready to get out of here. But the shoulder is a bit high. Still gonna
there it is.
Yeah, he
Luke Griffith with the submission win over Big Dan. Manasoyeu. Now Luke, again, we don't know who his next opponent's gonna be, if it's Josh Saunders or Felipe Pena, but many were looking at this young man to be in the finals, and that he is.
Yeah, very nice Katagatami finish.
Hopefully we can take a look at that guard pass.
Saunders, of course, coming up short to Felipe Pena earlier today. Very, very tough match. Got a negative point. That ended up being the difference. Manasoyeu submitted by Griffith. That was on mat number 2. Saunders representing Australia. Manasoyeu from the United States. East Coast Trials champion. Second time at ADCC. Long legs, excellent guard, tell by his build. And no surprise, drops right to his butt. It's a bronze medal match, heavyweight division. Look at that active guard.
2 huge guys, probably the biggest of the division, and they also fit. I remember back in the day how over 99 kilograms, everyone was very actually fat instead of being muscular.
Yep.
Man, those guys are like
4% body fat in their heavyweights.
It's crazy. Yeah. So athletic.
Manasoyeu, you know, if you're an old school fan, you remember Marcelo Garcia, he would go open guard and then sit up and take you down. He does that a lot.
He's really good at this.
Great leg entanglements. Can he finish it early? Not even a minute in, looking for the heel hook, and he got it.
He's at top. Wow, he does this so well.
Incredible finish.
Yeah.
You talk about ending on a high note. Bronze medalist from the U.S., Manasoyeu.
Well, that's the thing, right? Like Saunders usually is the tallest of the division, and you can see the difference in size. He's already big, and then
up next, fighting out of the red corner, from Belo Horizonte, Brazil, representing Gracie Barra, the 2017 ADCC Absolute Champion.
Calling the action with Mr. Sean Williams live from the T-Mobile Arena here in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada. And we are up for the finals. We have Luke Griffith representing New Wave Jiu-Jitsu against Felipe Pena of Brazil, representing Gracie Barra Jiu-Jitsu. What a storyline this has been, Sean Williams. You know, Gordon Ryan, champion of this division, obviously not competing here today in this division. He'll be competing in the super fight later on. Luke Griffith, his teammate, comes in to face, of all people, Felipe Pena in the finals.
Yeah, this is, I feel like this one was in the, had that possibility at some point.
Yeah.
And now it's here already, so. And Luke has looked very good on his way here. And so has Felipe, so. Really exciting final here.
Luke has had a tremendous year. The trials runs just destroyed everyone. Who's #1 matches, just so dominant. And now a lot of people were really looking at Luke getting into the finals here of ADCC, and this is where he is. Defeated his teammate Dan Manasoyeu to get to the finals. And he's up against, of all people, Felipe Pena, a man who's been to the finals of ADCC since 2015.
Yeah, and again, I said this earlier, Luke has been using underhook to get to the back very, very well. So we'll see if, #1, he can get there, and #2, Felipe is savvy to that. I'm sure he will be, but there's a little inside trip. He's going to, a little sweep, inside sweep.
This is a 20-minute regulation match. First 10 minutes, no points scored. The second portion of the match is 10 minutes. There will be points. And there'll be 10-minute overtimes, a max of 2-minute overtimes, so possibility of 40-minute match. But the pace that Luke Griffith has been going on this whole tournament, if he can continue that with Felipe Pena, I don't think it's going to hit the 40-minute mark.
No, I can't. I wouldn't think so either, but you never know. Pace is so important on anything, but really like the consistency, because some people think, oh, it's a fast or slow pace. It's more important, I believe, to be consistent. And you set a pace that you can sustain for #1. And I am always a bigger fan. I believe more of the legends of the sport that are champions have consistent paces. I think there's more of those. Now it's the left side that Luke has been using that underhook on to get to the back. His left.
We have to recognize something. Felipe Pena obviously fought his way to the finals, but also had a 40-minute war with Luke's teammate Gordon Ryan at the conclusion of yesterday. Luke Griffith with a nice takedown right into the guard of Felipe Pena.
Yeah, that was beautiful. Set up the underhook. Looked like he was going to do a far side knee pick and then just sat his weight down.
See the corners of each athlete. You see an injured Nicholas Marigali, John Danaher, and Giancarlo Bodoni in the corner of Luke, and Andre Galvão and Chiyoshiko, relative of Felipe Pena, in his corner.
Luke, very similar guard passing, stance, I guess you could call it. As Gordon's tipping that hip, and he gets around to the side now. That's actually good. He's got a body lock, a north-south body lock, which means he will be able to, should be able to stay in front of the hips. Felipe.
Nice escape there by Felipe Pena.
But that's going to take some energy. Yeah. Picking up, Luke is not a small human being, and to pick up those legs and the hips like that.
He framed on those hips to bend the body and scoot his hips out. Just a brilliant escape there, but man, the passing attempt by Luke was awesome.
Yeah, it really was. He got around the side and got his arms in front of the hips and then locked his hands, or at least almost locked his hands, so to stay below the knees. So rotating towards that left side, and I believe that yesterday Felipe favored his left hip on all the bear traps rather than his right hip.
And you gotta think about how much Luke has, he's had time to watch the Gordon match with Felipe. Probably had a chance to talk to Gordon about that. And look at that, Luke Griffith now getting to the back, potentially out Felipe Pena. There it is. He's just off to the side, one hook in, looking to put the second one.
Watch the arm come around the neck now. It's gonna come around the face. Luke has an incredibly strong rear naked strangle. The hands on the shoulder right now, Felipe Pena. And Felipe needs to get more than that hand inside. He's trying to face the floor. He needs to get his head over on this side. There, he's starting to move his head towards the mat on this side. He's electing to mess with the legs with his hands. Got to be careful of the arm isolation. Now his head needs to get to the floor here.
He's really trying to prevent Luke's right leg in, but it doesn't matter. His left leg's so damn tall, he can just body triangle him.
Yeah.
So
Felipe needs to keep rotating now. He needs to keep rotating. He can pick that foot up off the hip and keep rotating. So his right hand can go fight that foot on the hip and continue to rotate. There he goes. But now Luke's foot is on the floor. There he goes. He's nearly out now. As long as he can get his left elbow through the hip line. Can't see if Luke has an underhook with the left arm. That top arm for Felipe, I can't tell. It doesn't look like it's underhook. There. See that nice shot of the elbow on the hip? That should let him get all the way to the half guard. Luke is almost mounted. There, he got it back. But I guarantee you that's a lot of energy right there.
Gordon Ryan now joining this corner to help his teammate Luke Griffith, trying to help him win the title that he's giving up for grabs. Back to the feet now.
Foot sweep, gotta watch that foot sweep if you're Felipe when you turn yourself that far sideways. Right foot sweep of Luke Griffith. Nice shot by Felipe Pena. Let's see if he drives.
Felipe Pena with the nice double leg takedown.
Beautiful shot. Great timing. And now he's threatening the back. He's got a gift wrap. Oh, this is a problem for Luke. So he's going to pass the right foot through. Oh, it's a big deal. Felipe is very good on the back.
Felipe gets to the back of Luke Griffith. We can't tell from this angle, but it looks like he has a choke on. Felipe Pena has just submitted Luke Griffith and is your 2024 ADCC World Champion. Oh my gosh, Sean Williams.
Whoa.
He has done it.
I mean,
what a match.
One little mistake. And that is why Felipe is that Felipe.
Felipe looked dead to rights at one point. Luke had his back. I thought it was over, and he used that experience. He used that technique. He used all of those years, all of those minutes, all that time on the mat in Belo Horizonte on the ADCC mats to overcome that position and double leg. Like just the way that it progressed, the story of that match was something else. Felipe Pena is back.
Yeah, man, it looks great. So yeah, that was a great timing on that shot. And he drove through, he stuck with it because it looked like he was gonna stop. And then he stuck with it and drove through. And when he finished, Luke Griffith turned his back a little. And that was all he needed to get the gift wrap and then throw the hooks in and wham, rear naked strangle. Hopefully we can see that.
Okay, we're good. All right, we're gonna pass it over to Jake Watson for a word with our champion.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here with your champion, Felipe Pena. Felipe, you looked incredible this tournament, a true return to form. How do you feel about your performance?
Man, I feel amazing. To come here and compete today was really hard for me. I was the first match yesterday in the last one. I injured my back on my first match of the weight class when my opponent slammed. So this was a really emotional and hard tournament for me mentally. Who are on my back? My brother, my dad. They know I was planning not to compete this final, but God knows everything, you know. I already overcome myself many times in my career, and today is not different. You just need to keep believing, show up, and do your best.
Well, we can tell this means a lot to you. Is there a message you want to send to your fans now that you have won in such dynamic fashion?
Man, these last couple of months was really hard for me in personal ways. Many things happen. Everyone who is an athlete knows it's not easy. It's a lot of pressure, a lot of many things near you. Sometimes you think they want your best, but they not, you know. I think when you are in a shiny spot, not everyone around you, it's whoever you think it is. So it was really hard for me overcome these personal things and come here, train Brazil, train in San Diego with André. One more time, André, thank you for having me, even representing another team. André, always welcome to train at his school, his team. And we were like really rivalry, you know. Like I used to hate André. But you see, it's everything part of the athlete life. So this tournament means a lot to me because, hey, who want my bed? Shut up, I'm back.
Well, you're a wonderful champion, Felipe. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Felipe Pena.
I just said about some things that happen in my personal life, but I would like to thank you all for the support. Like I said on my interview yesterday, I always compete here in US, even it's not like my home country. I always feel very welcome for everyone. I felt that yesterday, I felt that today. I know there's many Brazilians here, so all Brazilians, all Americans, thank you for the support, and I'm happy I got this title to Brazil and for all my fans and everyone who support me. Thanks my dad, my brother, all my coach, my nutritionist, Brito, my mom, my girlfriend that was not possible at all do this camp without her. He helped me a lot. She moved with me to San Diego for 5 weeks, and I really appreciate, baby. Thank you. I love you.
Felipe Pena, ladies and gentlemen. Back to you guys.
All right, let's take a look at the replay of this historic matchup. We saw Luke Griffith earlier on taking the back of Felipe Pena. I got to admit, Sean Williams, I thought it was over at that point, but then Felipe turned it around, got that double leg, drove Luke Griffith to the ground, took his back. Look at him, got the rear naked choke, the arm around the back, used that experience in those years on the ADCC mats, and just got the gold here again at ADCC. Guys, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back for more.